Okay, it's time to heal some inner children. All right? It's time to start healing some inner children. Listen up. So, your inner child is a part of your subconscious that started forming ideas and beliefs since you were born. So, if you grew up in an environment where you were not properly mirrored, where you were not validated, where you were abused emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, if you grew up in an environment that was not conducive to developing your emotional intelligence, this is probably why you feel like your inner child needs some healing. So, the first step to healing your inner child is to make them feel seen and heard by you. The same way that you wanted all this attention as a little child and you craved it, and some of us were abandoned and we didn't get it, and all the things happened, your inner child still is craving to be seen and heard, even though you're an adult. And this can play out as people pleasing, or not speaking your truth, or not setting boundaries, not knowing how to say no, not feeling allowed to say no, worrying about other people's feelings more than your own, being scared to really step into that main character energy that we all have, and just kind of hiding away because in childhood we were not seen or heard. So it translates into adulthood. Don't speak, don't stand out too much. Or on the flip side, you could crave attention and feel like the need to be the center of attention all the time, where you kind of take up all the space all the time because you couldn't take up space in childhood. So now as an adult, you take up all the space. And so that may be something that people have told you is like, God, you always have to be the center of attention. And that could be because you were starved of it in childhood. So the way to allow your inner child to be seen and heard right now is to start saying the things that you want to say, is to start setting the boundaries, is to start saying no, is to start really speaking your truth and your emotions as they come up and not feeling like they don't matter. When someone asks how you're feeling, be honest. Don't say, I'm fine. If you're not fine, be honest. That's how you are more seen and heard, by literally stepping in and taking up space. The second thing that you have to do to heal your inner child is establish trust. A lot of us struggle with really trusting ourselves and discerning what's happening from our intuition or from self-sabotage, and just really reading the room. And that's because we were conditioned not to trust ourselves and what we were feeling as children. So now, in order to establish trust with your inner child, when you're feeling things, when there's a boundary that needs to be set, you have to say it. You have to set it. You have to show up and prove to yourself, your inner child, that you are dependable, that you are trustworthy, that you're no longer going to continue to put them into toxic situations. They have to, or you have to, start trusting your judgment when you look at people that you dated in the past. Now, in hindsight, you can see that there was a lot of things right there on the wall and you ignored it. So now you have to really do your best not to ignore it anymore, to keep your inner child safe. And the last thing that you must do in order to heal your inner child, and it's the most important, and it encompasses everything that I've been talking about, is to unconditionally love them. Yes, your child needs unconditional love. You need unconditional love. You needed to be able to make mistakes when you were younger, not be called a name or, punished. You needed to not get the answer right and not have a negative consequence. You needed to not be the top A student, but still get your parents' love and embrace. And so the number one thing that your inner child needs right now to heal is your love and your compassion. If you take a second to really reflect, some of you will realize that you talk to yourself and your inner critic, that inner dialogue, the worse that anybody talks to you in your life. And it's not okay. So all the love and the words of affirmation and the validation and the grace and the compassion that you needed growing up, you must give to yourself now. And that can look like, say you make a mistake at work and it's just like plain, you own it. It's literally a mistake that you made, no way around it. Instead of beating yourself up, instead of saying, God, how could I be so stupid? How could I be so stupid? And just saying things that are not really effective at all, you start to nurture yourself. Man, I made that mistake, but I'm not the first one to make mistakes. It's okay. It doesn't define my intelligence or who I am as a person, but what can I learn from this? Your inner child already carries enough shame and ridicule and guilt because of the things that they have been through, the things that you have been through. So the last thing that you need to do is continuing to perpetuate the abuse towards yourself. So I'm gonna leave you with these 3 tips because this video is getting to like 6 minutes, and if you've watched this long, amazing. Okay, your attention span is increasing. I love it. I will see you guys next time. Bye.